Okay, I am about, well, I'm nearing 50 hours in Valheim Mistlands, and I feel like that's just a drop in the bucket for me. So I wanted to share my first impressions after first week of Mistlands. It's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it. There are some oddities that I think they could iron out, and I think they're gonna change quite a bit of things because they have on their official Discord server the Mistlands feedback, so I think we're due for some balance changes here and there. Probably sooner rather than later, which, I mean, hopefully, right? Hopefully. So, just gonna walk around all casually. Talk about what I enjoyed, about what I think should change. Well, for one, I have to say, the new copper recipes, the new way of gaining Mistlands copper, not very good. I see this is on my mind right here because we've been getting copper. And, I feel like it's just a lot better to go sail and find, some closer copper deposits. I think the new way of getting iron is fine. I like that. I think that's good. But the new copper, it's okay. The copper scrap, that's alright. But using a black metal pickaxe to get copper now is just so much better. I mean, you can break a whole chunk in just about one hit. And then you can sail that away with a long ship, and that's nice. So, fundamentals. I've been really digging it. I've been really enjoying the basics of the Mistlands. But there are some weird things going on with some of the fundamentals. So the Wisp light thing that I have on here that clears the mist. When I jump up, when I go down, when I go over here or over here, it takes too long to change direction with me. And that leads to really annoying circumstances where I should be able to see where I'm going, but the Wisp light is just like, nah, no, give me a moment, give me a moment. It's like, no, I don't want to give you a moment, I want to go where I'm going. Like, I want to see where I'm able to go, just like in most of the other scenarios where I have the mist light, or the Wisp light. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. Even if it's at a low radius, okay? Here for a reason, and I want to make use of it. So, please, Iron Gate, if you're listening to me or whatever, please change the speed of the Wisp light turning, especially going up and down, left and right, changing directions. Please change that. I wouldn't mind if they kept the same radius. I understand people asking for it to be able to be upgraded to see more. I wouldn't mind that either. I'm very neutral on that. Super neutral. I also talk about the lands aspect of the Mistlands. The regular steep terrain is very slick and makes combat pretty clunky and annoying on it, with no ability to aim a normal attack up or down on the vertical plane, which is annoying. It's like that's an aspect of combat analysis that I'm not especially interested in. Like, I'll do it, I understand it, but I would much rather prefer to be able to aim up or down. Much rather. It also doesn't really show with the terrain shading when it is too steep, you have to actually like look at the terrain steepness from horizontal perspective and be like, oh yeah, it's too steep. Usually on like very steep mountainside or cliffside, even in the meadows, if there's a beige patch in the meadows or a white patch on the side of a mountain, you know that you can just stand on that and you will not slide down. Like you can regain your stamina, you can relax there, you won't slide back down. Very good. However, in the Mistlands, it's all that lovely green. And that lovely green does look lovely, but it doesn't match the pattern that we're used to. So it's kind of a betrayal of that gameplay pattern. That shading, although beautiful, it just does not match at all. Does not match. Now, something else with the terrain is like cultivation is super weird, super janky. It's not very well represented visually, like what you can cultivate and what you can't sometimes. Like sometimes it's perfect, sometimes it's really bad. I wish it was just perfect all the time, you know? That would be wonderful. I don't think anybody would be too opposed to that. Now, I want to show you sort of what I mean by that. Just a moment, I'll head over to my Mistlands farm. I think I can go there now. Yeah, I'll go there now. But yeah, I've just kind of accepted that my farm is going to be inefficient and suboptimal for gathering up, what is it? Jotun Puff and Mage Cap. I've just accepted that. Like, okay, no, yeah, it's just always gonna be inefficient because of the way that the terrain works. Like you see here, look at how some of this is like green. All green looks like normal, and then some of it is like this deep brown, like normal cultivated. Like, yeah, like, it's so inconsistent. So weird. I would much rather have it all look the same and be even. Because it looks just like normal rock here. It just looks normal. Looks completely normal. And yet, that stuff that I just looked at can't cultivate on it, and the stuff over by the farm you can cultivate. Just a really weird visual inconsistency. Now, I don't mind some aspects of the terrain. I don't mind the big crags. I actually really enjoy the big crags. There are certain crags which are actually like very fun to work around in terms of like terrain, in terms of mobs. I'm actually going to go back to the farm because these crags are really cool for fighting Gyal. They're very cool for combat. So let me head up one of these crags real quick. So these crags here, I like them. I like them a lot. I like them for exploring. I like the way that the mist is like non-existent up here, and you can see crag to crag, and you can see bits of below, like, oh, there's a root over there. Like, oh, there's a Gyal over wherever. It's like, I love that. I love being able to see certain things like that ancient sword handle right over there. Things of this nature. I also really like being able to go to certain specific crags that have a lot of multi-tiered aspects to them and just know that I have layers and layers of cover if I want to fight a Gyal from range. Yeah, like if it gets up close to me, I'm gonna have cover and then more cover and then more cover, and it's not gonna be a problem. I'm a big fan of that. Huge, huge, huge fan of the Crags. I'm not a fan of sometimes the Crags have little aspects to them where it's like, oh, you seem like you'll just be able to jump over it, and then a part of the lip of the Crag says, nope, you're not jumping over it now. And you just like waste 20 stamina on something that looks very easily jump overable. It's like, oh, you were just 1 pixel off. That's very silly. That's very goofy. That just seems to be an arbitrary punishment, but I don't know what they could do to fix that. Let's see. I really like fighting the mobs, even with the mist. I think that Seekers, Gyals, Seeker Soldiers are really fun. I think that it's terrifying, but also in a way that's thrilling. Because you can kill them. You can kill all these mobs that that are scary to you. You can just take them out. So even though it's scary, it's rewarding in its challenge, and it gives a psychological journey, I guess you could say. Very good. I'm digging that a lot. What's really cool is just heading into the Mistlands. Frostner plus Black Metal Shield, Black Metal Atgear and Draugr with Frost Arrows. They're all seemingly very strong for Seekers, Seeker Soldiers, Ticks, Seeker Eggs, Broods. You can work out these low-lying creatures with the Iron Sledge very easily, which is very fun. Hares that are all very wily and running around. Those you can work around with the Iron Sledge as well. That's a lot of fun. The Gyals and Seeker Soldiers having a weak point is really cool. And also Trolls now have a weak point, which is their head. They take it like 30% extra damage from that. So positioning is now more interesting than ever. Aiming now is more interesting than ever. I'm having a great time with that. That's a lot of fun. In terms of armor, full Fenris for fire resistance and mobility, especially on the steep ends of things, and the Crags is very good. Root Harness is nice because Seekers deal quite a bit of pierce damage, so the classic armor set that was relevant in the Plains is still relevant now. After some getting used to the enemies with Bone Mess on, I'm very confident with this armor layout. This armor layout also works very well with Verger, who deal a lot of pierce and fire, and also frost, which this also covers with, well, like a wolf cape that you would have, but also like Fenris coat. You would just need maybe like Yagluth power, and then you throw on the Root Harness, or you go Bone Mass and full Fenris for speed. Probably the latter. The thing about the Verger, though, let's talk about the Verger. I really wish we could trade with these folks instead of pillaging or raiding. The precedent has already been set with Haldor for trading, and he doesn't have to be unique, just fairly rare. I would really enjoy semi-rare Verger outpost with a trader in it, where you can trade some gold or something else for soft tissue. Considering in the infested mines you have hidden doors with old Verger treasure rooms, the chests in which often containing some simple minor potions, minor healing, minor stamina. Maybe they would like and appreciate a specific potion that could vary from trader to trader. Maybe you want a medium stamina. Maybe you want a medium healing. Okay, I'll trade some of these with you for some soft tissue. Maybe it's just a huge quantity of gold. I'll take that too. Maybe it's a ton of quantity of gold for the extractor. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Hey, I'd make that trade. 3K? Yeah, no problem. I'd do that. So I mentioned the infested mines, and I have nothing but praise and kinda nitpicks for Iron Gate Dungeon Master Eric and the wonders and horrors within the mines. My only thing is, I wish Royal Jelly had an easier renewable source than it does now. Which is, from what I heard, the boss. So, not terribly renewable for most people. Plus, I'm getting Royal Jelly so that I could make things so that I could eventually fight the boss. Not the other way around. Or any other order. At least not yet. So that's kind of ridiculous. I also wish the Verger lanterns within the mines, and then also some of them on the Verger outposts, could be shot down, sniped down, what have you. I would love that. That would be so nice. Because I love the Verger lanterns. Let me grab one right now. It is my new favorite decoration, and I love the way that you can have them around. I love the Verger lanterns. Now, my only problem with the Verger lanterns is it is a hand item that doesn't get equipped like a hand item. See how instant equipping the Mistwalker is? Now the Verger lantern takes time like a belt to equip. That's kind of ridiculous. It also takes the same amount of time to unequip, which is also very silly. But, cool thing is, look at this light source, and you hit R, boom, beautiful. Beautiful light on your waist. I love it. Very nice. My new favorite decoration by far. So, new build pieces, new weapons, like Mistwalker. Super cool, super amazing. Him and Awful, a Demolisher, all of the new shields. I feel like I could go on and on and on. New magic stuff. There are so many new cool things that you could build with or make combat builds like weapons and prioritize certain skills over others in combos. It is a headache that I would love to have. And huge props to Iron Gate for making these weapons so cool. And for having so many of them be so cool. Thank you, Iron Gate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The build pieces too. Love them. I love them. A spiral staircase. Hello. Incredible. Thank you, Iron Gate, for including that. That's beautiful. I love it. I really wish we could craft the new Verger like fermenter or Verger keg. I think that would be cool. I really cannot believe we can't craft the Verger doors. That just seems absurd to me. Can we please, please, please craft the Verger doors? I cannot believe we can't make those. That's ridiculous. They already look like they would cost metal. Like, that's enough of a pain. Like, come on. Let's have that recipe, please. I want that build piece. Let's see the fishing system. New fishing system. Really janky. Basically forces you to invest a decent amount of your old catch into bait for your new catch. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Old catch to new catch, old catch to new catch. Basically getting nothing as a result for a long time. All the way until the Mistlands, where you get the anglerfish. And then you get a food recipe, which is good, but isn't terribly worth all of that investment. And I just wish that from the trader that you were able to unlock the new fishing baits per bosses. Like, the way that they've changed the trader, like, I want to talk about that now. The way that they've changed the trader, they've gated certain items and certain mats behind certain bosses. But if we're going to say that was always an intended aspect, defeating Yag would always unlock the egg. So even though it's a new item, it's not an extra item per se, if you understand what I mean. I think what people wanted when they requested that items be unlocked after you defeat bosses at the merchant is new items, extra items. Not prevent us from getting the old items earlier and then unlocking them. No, unlocking new extra items at the merchant. I cannot believe that they took this interpretation with that request. I also cannot believe that they've basically made the game more linear because now you can't make Frostner or Iron Sledge before Bone Mass. That's just absurd to me. At least remove the Ymir Flesh cost for making and maxing the Iron Sledge for forever. Just get rid of that. You might as well get rid of it for Frostner too if you're gonna go that route. Just get rid of Ymir. Just Ymir Flesh is just absurdly expensive. Just like for the quantities, especially in the Iron Sledge. Just like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you make the game more linear? Yeah, I want to have the Iron Sledge in the actual Iron Age. Like, please. I want to have it so that I can go through crypts more conveniently. If I have the Draugr Elite Trophy, nice. Then I can go crypt cheese to my heart's content with more convenience. We can still crypt cheese with the Stag Breaker, it just takes longer. It's just arbitrarily more annoying. Why? Why did they decide to do that? It's ridiculous. Just change it back. Give us new items that unlock boss to boss. Stop making the game more linear. That's absurd. Going back to fishing, I have decided to not engage with the fishing system much at all. I've just been gathering up fish that have hopped on land, and some of them hop into these stake walls here. Like right here. And they get impaled in there, if they're large enough. I've also been putting boats in the middle of the water, so that I can collect fish that jump into them. Doing this is just praying to RNGesus, and it is not an effective way of gathering fish over time. However, it is good for our aesthetic purposes. That is the wonderful, wonderful way of putting fish on the wall, and then they can talk to us. None of these fish were caught the normal way. Every single one bumbled themselves onto land, or on my boat, and we picked them up. I have not cast much at all in terms of reels and lines. Look at that, he's talking. I like that. The decoration is nice, but in terms of actual mechanical benefit, actually being able to get up to angler and make the food, not worth it right now. Really, really not worth it. Honestly, if it was just like any bait for any fish, that would be fine too. You know? We'd still catch for aesthetic purposes. And then maybe take the pufferfish or something for the poison. I'm not quite sure how the pufferfish works yet. It's interesting. It's an interesting fish. But, yeah, and then folks who want to just catch angler for the food could just catch angler with the regular bait. I think that would be fine as well. I think that would be cool. So, I'm going to talk about a bunch of misc things now. Magic, very fun. I've just unlocked it recently. I have a bunch of theory. I've tested things somewhat, but not too much in the Mistlands. I've done a little bit of planes testing with certain combos, and they're already so good. Every single staff right now seems like it's going to be incredible. So very exciting, very, very, very exciting. I'll let you know more with theory videos soon. Oh, So exciting. Hang on, let's stick a Mistwalker on this guy. Oh no! You can tell I'm not used to swords, but the Mistwalker is too good to pass up. Something else I really enjoy is the way that the food is cooked up. The recipes are so renewable now. They're so renewable, or they cost ingredients that I just really don't worry about the cost of, because we find so many of these creatures out, like seeker meat. I'm not worried about running out of seeker meat. Mist hair, I'm not really worried about that because you can sledge them. Sap, Yggdrasil sap, not worried about that. Of course, I'm not worried about eggs, I'm not worried about chickens, I'm not worried about any of the farmables in general. It's just really lovely, and I've just been really taking to cooking and being a Valheim cook. Cooking up all sorts of food for my friends. Farming it up. It's been a nice time. I wasn't usually this type of guy for my crew. But here I am. It's nice. I also want to talk about Feather Cape. This is just my favorite item in Valheim. This is a gift from the gods, and the devs should be immensely proud in their creation. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Phenomenal item. I love this. It's so incredibly satisfying, of course mechanically effective. Even if it didn't have the limit fall speed, even if it didn't have the frost res, even if it was just fall damage minus 100%, it would be incredible. But no, we have the whole damn package, and it is phenomenal, and I couldn't ask for more on this damn thing. It's so nice. It is so nice. I also want to talk about just some normal progression. I really like how the progression is Black Forge wise. You make the Black Forge, okay. Now we have access to a bunch of different weapons, like specifically Crom. We got Skull and Haughty, Arbalest, Carapace Spear. It's like we immediately unlock some cool things, and I don't mind that they cost old metal material because it makes me feel it makes me feel rewarded for keeping up with the Valheim teasers. It's like, okay, well, I noticed in the teasers that there was this metal ridging on these structures, and that looked like it could be some sort of alloy. It could be crafted with some sort of alloy. So I'm just going to hoard up all of these different metals from the past. And hey, that paid off in spades. And then me and my friends were just able to craft Croms right away. And same thing with Arbalest. It was just wonderful. Like I felt rewarded for paying attention to the teasers as the many months went on. Like it felt good to be a community member. Something interesting, like right after you unlock Refined Aether, you get a whole bunch of stuff. So you get 5 more cores, you get the Aether Refinery, and now we're talking. We get a whole bunch of weapons unlocked. Shields, Demolisher, this, that, and the other thing. New armor, which, new heavy armor without any special properties on the pieces is so disappointing. But still, like most of this stuff is super cool, and I really enjoy it. And then 5 more cores go by, and then we have the Galder table, we have the beautiful Feather Cape, and all of these wonderful things. I wish that the Aether Weave set had maybe some sort of set bonus, maybe like fire resistance. I think it would be really nice for it to have fire resistance for Gjalls and some sort of Verger mages. I think that would work wonders. I understand the idea of like the Aether Weave set being maybe one of the last things that you craft before the Queen. So you're not exactly using it on creatures that have fire res, but still, it's like, you know, I would still want it to have some sort of extra bonus on it. I understand the bonuses that it does have per piece, and being per piece is super cool because you can mix and match with root harness and all that. But I understand that those bonuses are really nice. But still, I wanna set bonus, you know? Give me something for crafting all that. I want at least something. Let's see, the upgrade station for the Galder table being called the Rune table is kind of weird and wacky to me, because you'd think the Rune table with such a name would be something of a higher impact. It just being able to upgrade your stuff at the Galder table is not impressive for runes. Like, the connotation of that name, Rune table, is immense. And for it to just be, oh, you get to upgrade some things at the Galder table, it's like, okay, you could have just made up some random stuff for it to be that. Like, the design is nice. I like the way that it looks. You know, let me look at this. It looks really cool. It looks really nice, but it's a rune table. You'd think it would have way more impact, like letting us craft runes like on Haldor's encampment for the trader. You know, his anti-mob encampment. Like, what's up with that? Are we never gonna unlock that? Why? Like, what's going on? Speaking of base defenses like that, I want to talk about the Ballista, the ever so controversial Ballista. I think that it should be at least connected or connectable to the ward system, so that it doesn't target friendlies in a certain radius. Being able to target friendlies like yourself, your friends, your tamed animals is kind of absurd, because it's a new Mistlands base defending tool, and you have to be like, oh no, you have to defend your base less in certain areas. Oh, you had a herd of locks? Can't have those and the Ballista at the same time. You can't have a theoretically super strong Mistlands base with all that protection. Or you can't have like a super strong base in general with all that protection. You have to have limited protection. And this is what one of the devs said. One of the devs said, oh, you have to have safe zones, safe routes that you know are safe from the ballistas, so that you can enter. And you and your friends can know about the safe zones. And then you don't even have to worry about the ballistas in that case. And how are we really going to stop mobs from going over to the safe zones instead of the ballista areas? Especially now that they can fly. Like, raid mobs can fly now with seekers and all of that. But they could, you know, they used to fly too with drakes. And then they could jump with oozers. Like, raid mobs have mobility. They have verticality. How are we keeping them in place so that they only approach where there's a ballista? How is it that they're not going to, with RNG, just move over to your quote-unquote safe route and then attack your normally defended base, and it's like, oops, guess these ballista are worthless now. I guess I just wasted all that refined ender and iron for nothing on these springs. And not to mention all of the ammo cost on the ballista for the missiles, which I thought was already the obvious balancing aspect of the ballista. They cost resources in ammo for the missiles. Like, wasn't that the whole balance between traps and the ballista? Like, oh, I have these traps. They're renewable, but they're only on the ground. These ballista, they have so much more coverage, but they cost resources to keep them good. But no, now it's just a hassle right outside your base, and now we have to have even more limits, seemingly arbitrarily. Like, I don't even mind if you're out fighting mobs and the ballista is, like, in your field of view. I don't even mind if, like, you're in between a mob that it's targeting, if it hits you and you take big damage. I don't mind that. I just don't want it to target you and your friendlies. Do not target you and your friendlies. Absolutely not. Do not. Just connect it to the ward system. That's it. Just have it be connected to the ward. Easy peasy. We're chilling. All right. That's good. All right. Let me know what you think about all of this. Hope you've enjoyed. I'm gonna have a lot of really cool theory videos. Might just do like a full incant clear soon. Just messing around. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what your own ideas are. I'm sure people are super stoked about some things and don't mind other things, or really want these things to be changed and don't want that things to be changed. Let me know. Tell me what you think. And I'll see you guys some other time. Bye!